All right, Shalom. I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Shemal, Shabbat, Shema, Kakwadash, the abundance of the apostles of the elder great millstone. Shalom to all that came out to pushing the word in sincerity and truth. And today's date is June 19th, the year 2020, the year of prophecy. And this is one of those days of so-called celebration. It's not one of the major days that we all know of, 4th of July and Christmas and Thanksgiving. You have today Juneteenth, which this is just another slap in the face to you blacks as well as you Latinos and Native Americans, mainly you Southern Kingdoms, which consist of you Negroes, Haitians, and Jamaicans. You always get caught up in this devil in the celebratory days, which is parts of the system, and you think that you're integrated due to policies and things being passed, such as you had the Emancipation Proclamation with Abraham Lincoln. If I'm not mistaken, that was 1865, 1863. Then you have you have Juneteenth, which was I'm going to go into, which further basically is the which they claim is the liberation of you blacks from slavery, which it was nothing more than a transferring from you from the old Confederacy to basically the Union, to get you established more in the Americanized corporate system. All right, even going, one key figure even dealing with blacks, so-called getting freed is this woman Harriet Tubman. Now you can look up Harriet Tubman on the CIA.gov, and she's a memorable mention in the eyes of Esau for all the work that she helped the white man with. If you aren't thoroughly studied, you might think that she was actually what they call a Black Moses. She helped lead the blacks from the South and gave them freedom. That's all BS. If you go into Harriet Tubman, which I think her name was Amarnath Ross, might be pronouncing it incorrectly, but butchering it a little bit. But anyways, her job was to basically bring the forces of the black slaves up to the north to fight in that major war. Because what happened after that, if I'm not mistaken, shortly after was the Civil War, and due to her acts, she basically helped accelerate the Union to actually help win the war. And the Union, in today's time, you had hardcore slavery, which they was in the old style or old system of life, where they were still whipping the backs of slaves, generating revenue through cash crops and plantation, raw plantation slavery. Then you had in the North, it was mainly industrialized, all right, corporate. It was more updated, so to speak. So that's why it was that big war, because you had a conflict of interest. One wanted to stay with the old style of living, and one wanted to update. Even today, you have divisions within the conservatives and the Democrats and the Republicans, and there's different branches that want to push, and liberals, that want to push certain styles of economics, whether it's keeping Jake, extremely at the bottom or update. It's the same layout in today's time now. So, this white man has you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans duped, believing that you actually are getting, further integrated into, white America. It's called white America for a reason. It was built by the white man using your labor and your hands, and it was really built by rape, robbery, and bloodshed when they came to the shores of America, so to speak. First, of course, America wasn't the first place landed on, but when they came here, they came with an axe, and basically in a hammer to put people down, man. They came with nothing more but weapons of war, and that same spirit is being generated in today's time. So without further ado, I'll go into the lesson. But it says Juneteenth is a holiday celebrating the liberation of those who had been held as slaves in the U.S. Originating in Texas, it is now celebrated annually on the 19th of June throughout the U.S. with varying official recognition. Specifically, it commemorates the Union Army General Gordon Granger announcing federal orders on Galveston, Texas on June 19, 1865, proclaiming that all people as slaves in Texas were free. Let's look at this guy, Gordon Granger, a dang devil, man. You know, it wasn't a black man that, you know, led you Jakes out. That's how you know it's all. They don't even look like they don't even look like you know, a so-called good white man. You know, of course, none of them. Scripture says, you know, none of them do good. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, you have some some Edomites that may fit the image. This mother effer looked like he had bodies in his basement, man. Like a stone cold torture. And I'm pretty sure if you go into his rap sheet, he was a supervillain. You know, he looked like he could play the part of a supervillain in a you know, movie or something like that. These devils, hey, the visage or the countenance of man really shows their spirit. You think this man desires for blacks to be free, you know, to be integrated in society and make money and be on top? No, he had a plan that, you know, generals, and officers and different individuals with high officials in the army, they get told what to do. You know, it don't matter what position, they get told by the federal government who to march on, when to progress, when to regress, when to fall back, when to move forward, when to flee. You know, they basically are controlled, and you have the top of the food chain, which is the elites, which is the international banking families that, you know, ultimately, you know, hold the plans, hold the interests of the United States in their back pocket. They have full ownership of this system, you know, and in their guidelines, which you have books, you have articles, you have all kind of things that come out. None of them spoke about blacks being free. We're not free unto this day. Hence, as it is written, we are today in the land of our captivity. We're held captive. And scripture says that they held us fast and they wouldn't let us go. This white man is not looking to let us go. All right. So you see Juneteenth, Freedom Day. It's also called the Jubilee Day. This is the devil, man. You Jakes look at this as a Jubilee, which when you go into the Jubilee in the Bible, you know, it was the releasing of debt. When you blacks, left this system, you got thrown into another system. One major system, you Jakes got caught up in was the prison system, man. You know, you're still looked at as 3/5 of a man. That's why even with the prison system, you know, dealing with crack cocaine and the the drug spikes that took place, you Jakes were getting damn near 10 times the amount of time than whites, if not shit more than that. You had the 3 strikes law in California. You know, 3 felony offenses, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life in prison. And that was to accelerate putting Jakes and right back in hardcore slavery, chain gang. All right, working for 13 cents, 5 cents, 8 cents an hour in the prison system, you know, as well as what he indoctrinated. He allowed you Jakes to go into his educational programs. You know, he let you go to the colleges, he let you go to the school systems, and you still have to pay taxes, high taxes, for your living. They didn't give you any type of full restoration. They didn't give you no plots of lands to build on. They didn't give you a state. They didn't give you a city. They didn't give you a county. What county is owned by so-called blacks, all right, or Latinos and Native Americans? This white man fully conquered. He butchered, tore you all the way down, took over the land. Now he said, all right, you free to go work some jobs, bust your ass for $10 an hour, all right? Like I said, Emancipation Day, which really, when you're going to Emancipation, Apostle Har and the elder apostles years ago went into, it was just a transferring of debt, man. You know, we're debt slaves. That's why you work, and the type of wages that we earn is it's called wage slavery. When you work wages, and the wages basically fall into a bag of holes. And I'm gonna get that because that's indicative. If you want to know a people, you see their financial state, and us as a financial people, as a people, even though we're the highest consumers, we're the most in poverty. I'm talking about you blacks as well as you Latinos and Native Americans. Haggai 1:6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Hey, that's the curses. Scripture speak about how we're gonna sow. We're gonna build buildings. We built these intricate American style models, as well as such as the White House, for example. The White House, that blueprint was structured by the black man, by a so-called black man. But did he get any type of credence, or did he get full payout? Is his generations reaping the benefits of your president living in his basically his crib? No, you know. But this white man, he reaps the benefit. You sow, he reaps the benefit. All right, it says, and bring in little. All right, so you living off the scraps. We living off the scraps, including myself. Ye eat, but ye have not. Yeah, we eat in this system. We have food, that you eat, but it's nutritionally deficient. While the white man, eats 10,000, has $10,000 plates being sent out to him. I'm just saying that, of course, drastically jumping the prices. But hell, you do have certain plates. These devils that ride their yachts and go overseas and, eat from the top chefs, such as like an individual Wolfgang Puck. He's a top chef. These top French chefs and European chefs, and their food and their the supplements or whatever they actually have in their possession has the highest nutritional content. Your food that you eat is really cloned. A lot of the food that you eat is cloned or is genetically modified, and that type of food, the diet of blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans are horrible. When you have a bad diet, you're extremely sick, and hospitals are full of sick blacks as well as Latinos and Native Americans. So this is even a worse system than even slavery, man. If you wanna compare, it's just as bad. We didn't come up. There ain't no man. F a Juneteenth, man. Some damn liberation, or call it Jubilee Day. Get the hell out of here. It says, but ye are not filled with drink. Yeah, we drink, but we